Where I am now, better than before. Through those open doors, where I am now, where I am now, I'm in a special place. I'll tell you all the place where I am now. It's now time for the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. The music that you hear in the background is none other than Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, where I am now. And if you'd like to see us live in WGPL 1350 Studio, WMVA 88.9 FM Studio, all you have to do is go to Edward Everett's Facebook page or Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton's Facebook page, and guess what? You can see us live right here in the studio. And if you want to hear us all over the globe, all you have to do is go to 1400 AM, 1350 AM, click and listen live. And now I want to introduce to some and present to others the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and a pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. E. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
TGIF, thank God, it's Friday.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We want to welcome our neighbors. We want to welcome WGPL 1350 AM listeners.
Peace, 95.3 FM, WPCE 1400 AM, and WMVA 88.9 FM.
Facebook Live is on and popping. Let's also welcome Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. We'll shout you out later on in the show.
Shout them out.
We'll shout them out. Just go to Crystal Records 1 on YouTube. Also, let's go to FYI Radio Show, host Yolanda Hinton on YouTube, our newest platform. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and we promise we'll shout you out. All right, Mr. E, I hope you are feeling good about last night. This is Fun Friday, but last night you all won. You don't have no business having scrambled eggs this morning. You should be up and popping.
Well, we won last night, Miss Hinton. It wasn't what you call one of the best wins in the world.
Oh, win is a win is a win.
But we won, so hey, we good.
Well, you all got to come up a little bit. You do look a little sloppy, like you got a little, little too much on the body. Y'all got to get a little stronger and everything. But anyway, we want to say congratulations to the Cowboys. They played the Giants on last evening. We're going to tell you more about that on Sports Talk on Monday. So tune in on Monday for FYI Sports Talk. Good morning, Miss Sheila Robbins. Thank you so much for joining us on this Fun Friday. Mr. E, we can expect some weather that may be pretty decent. We may have some scattered showers at noon here in the Hampton Roads area. But other than that, the weather should be kind of. They're watching things because we have, what's going on down south in Florida and everything. And so we'll see what happens. But this is Fun Friday. We're going to have a good time. Our segment, What's in Your Closet? I tell you what, we got a lot of news in the closet and we're bringing it out. Mr. E, let's start with what's going on in New York. Why is there always something? Look, Portsmouth in New York. Always something going on in Portsmouth and New York.
That's right.
As a matter of fact, we have Mayor Adams. He's been indicted on federal charges.
$10 million in improper campaign contributions.
Oh, my.
The New York City Mayor Eric Adams, charged with fraud, accepting $10 million in improper campaign fund.
You know, this is the wrong time for all that because people are looking really close at our leaders.
That's right.
And we're, this is a good time for you to come in with your song, Vote the Devil Out. Some of these folks need to be voted. But okay, so this is allegedly. We can't say that he did it for sure, but they're going to sure enough try to prove that this guy right here, Mr. Adams, is a crook.
That's right. They said Mayor Adams has been charged with 5 counts.
Wow.
In alleged long-standing conspiracy connected to improper benefits, illegal campaign contribution, and attempt to cover up, according to the sweeping indictment unsealed Thursday morning.
Well, I tell you what, he said he's not going nowhere. You know, these are some stubborn politicians. How is it, at one time they would just go ahead and
get out
just
the way.
Exit, stage left. These people are saying, I might have done it, I might not, but I tell you what, I'm not going nowhere. I'm going to do what I do, and I'm going to do it in front of you, and that's going to be the ball game.
You know, it's a shame that folks can tell you what they ain't going to do, and you put them in office, and now they're going to tell you they ain't going to do certain things.
He said, my day today will not change. I will continue to do the job for 8.3 million New Yorkers that I was elected to do. He's defiant, and he's saying, hey, whatever. They're saying, step down, get out the way. And he said, I wish I would.
He said, prove me guilty.
Oh, and that's what they're going to have to do. You got to come with the receipts.
That's
you got to come and show that this man is a crook. You got to prove it. It's not what you think you know, it's what you can prove. And so, he's got his lawyers, he's lawyered up. He had a whole bunch of folk behind him talking about prove it.
Prove it. They say you ain't you ain't guilty until you're proven guilty.
Yeah, so his name is Eric Adams. He's the mayor.
Right. 64 years old.
64-year-old
mayor, African-American brother. They accuse him of illegal.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. We got somebody else this is not alleged crook, pure. Let's go ahead and talk about him.
You talking about who?
Out of New York again, but by the way of Washington, Mr. Giuliani. He was
disbarred in D.C.
Disbarred in D.C. They had already
disbarred. Election.
He was already disbarred in
New York.
What is it? He was all in New York, right?
Right. Now they done disbarred him.
Is it disbarred?
Yeah, disbarred.
Okay.
They disbarred
all
DC
right, give us the story.
over 2020 election scheme. Last summer, Washington, D.C. based barred discipline commitment committee concluded that Rudy Giuliani should be disbarred for furious and destruction efforts of overturning 2020 presidential election. As part of the procedure, the former New York mayor concurred in a series of outlandish excuses for his alleged misconduct that they didn't pursue. He claimed misused election fraud by having no evidence of it. But there's three-member panel declared in a 38-page decision, but prosecutors that destruction case, Mr. Giuliani sworn of office, court forfeited his rights to practice law. Bye, boo-boo.
And why was that again?
Bye, boo-boo. Because he's a crook. He did the destructions, and he falsified information, and, he went out the back door.
Well, I tell you what, he did a lot of harm because he...
And then he did something with the elections.
Well, that's one of the main things. He was involved with a whole lot of corruption when it came to the election, doing a lot to undercut, what's going on with the January 6th case and all kind of things. He's done a whole lot.
That's right.
And the thing about it, he cannot get away with it.
Can't get away with it.
He cannot get away with it. So all you all that think that some of these folks are getting away with all this kind of stuff, they're not going to get away with it. Disbarred in D.C. over the 2020 election scheme. And I tell you what, don't call him. If you're tempted to call a lawyer, don't call him. He cannot practice law. I don't care what you say.
That's right, Miss Hinton. That's right. You cannot practice law in that city.
You can't practice law at all. How about that?
Bye, boo-boo.
I would need one of them as my lawyer. He got too much. But isn't it funny? We talk about leaders and things like that. And, he was right there at 9/11. We just finished celebrating 9/11. Not celebrating, but we remembering those that perished in 9/11. And, he was right there as mayor. And now to see him, and he's gotten all this stuff all involved in politics and with the former president and all this stuff. Right before see, one thing about him and others, these folks will do stuff right before our very eyes, and they're like, "Look, I dare you to do something." I tell you what, they have done something about it, and because of all the mess that he's involved in, he won't be practicing. He won't have a job, and he needs to go ahead and pay those two ladies.
Well, he'll pay them. He got to pay everybody else before he paid them.
I know it. Now, Mr. E, why do you want to talk about Diddy Combs? I tell you, some people are sick of hearing about Diddy Combs. And the breaking news, Diddy Combs moved to the same section of New York City jail housing as Sam Bankman-Fried.
That's right. He's down there with the big boys, and watch out for what happened to you now, boy. And, they said that they have been moved to a section of the New York City jail where convicted
cryptocurrency fraudster.
That's right. Sam Bankman-Fried is being held. Sources confirmed that at NBA News.
The area of the detention center is reserved for detainees who require special protection. 3 sources familiar with the matter said Tuesday. Combs is 54 years old, was arrested last week, and is being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, a federal jail that has a notorious reputation for violence and poor care.
Wow.
So wherein he was out, had his mansions and all that, that man is sitting in there rotten just like anybody
else. He got to go through it. He got caught, he got busted, and he got to go through it.
Well, see, I always think it's like, how can you wrap your mind around being in one place at one time, having all the luxury of the world, and then being just isolated, just like a criminal. Well, you're isolated. You are a criminal. But being isolated, it seems so. How can you wrap your mind around? How can you keep from losing your mind? That's what I'm really trying to say.
Well, these are the things that get me so much, Miss Hinton. You got folks like Fry, you got Sean Diddy Combs, you got a whole lot of other crooks. A whole lot of other folks that did crime.
Ooh, let's talk about Bankman. For instance, he's only 32 years old.
That's right.
He was the chief federal prosecutor in Manhattan said he orchestrated one of the largest financial frauds in history, stealing more than $8 billion. Now, how do you steal $8 billion and think you're gonna get away with it?
Well,
it's amazing.
They said the unit is described as a barrack style. So he's sleeping in like the military sleep in a barrack style housing, 8 to 20 inmates who require special protection.
Special protection means you are in harm's way. Somebody is if you're not put in these particular places, you may not live to see the light.
That's right. According to the sources from high-profile defense to people who cooperated with investigators. Cooperated with the investigators. I can't say that enough. Cooperated.
He cooperated with
I
them?
said that's
really?
for the high profile cases. I'm making a funny for people who has cooperated with him. And the reason why I'm saying that, because folks said that loose lips sinks a ship, and they said Diddy has some loose lips.
Oh wow! Well, we'll see if he has loose lips.
Cameras.
He better, he can't have loose lips yet. He's getting ready to come before the people. They did not give him bond, and so he's got to really make sure his lawyers are there to fight for him, because if not, he's going to end up like some of the other ones that we know that are in prison and can't get out.
But there's an alarm being sounded now. They said mental health experts sound the alarm.
On who? We don't want to talk about him yet. I'm not ready for that, Mr. E. Well, let's talk about who do we want to talk about? Let's talk about the Haitians.
Okay.
Let's talk about the fact that the Haitians, and Mr. E, if you can pull up that story, they are actually coming together. There's an organization that's coming together, and they're going to sue Mr. Donald Trump and D. Vance for putting out a scandal, allegedly, on Ohio, Springfield, Ohio. It is really, really, to me, a shame that you would let people get into a place where others will harm. Your words will help harm others, and you sit back and continue to just beat it in the ground. Oh, you all are eating cats. You all are eating dogs. You all are this, and you all are, you hate. Why would you do that to a people? But, we thought that the Haitians would maybe, do like some others, just stand back and look. But this group of people are not sitting back, standing back at all. They have brought a lawsuit. They want them actually arrested. But see, what is
they said, according to the Haitian group seeking charges against Trump and Van over false Springfield claim. They said the leaders of the nonprofit represented the Haitian community and voted a private citizen right to file charges Tuesday against former President Donald Trump and his running mate, J.D. Vance, over and threats experiencing by Springfield, Ohio. Since Trump first spread that false claim about illegal immigrants there during a presidential debate, the Haitian Bridge Alliance made the move after inaction by a local prosecutor, said the attorney of a Cleveland-based law firm charged by the private citizens are rare, but not unheard of in Ohio. Example might be a grocery store charge customers for bouncing check. State law required to hear to take place. So they're going against Trump for
and Vance because it's something that they continue to say. It's not just about what they're saying, but it is what is happening as a result of what's being said. Now, I don't think that anybody has a right to say things, and then all of a sudden you have people now wanting to pounce on the Haitian people. What if they were eating cats?
Well, they said the Haitian.
What if they were? But they're saying that they're being targeted, and you know what I'm saying? They're being targeted. But this is the thing. Now someone is coming in there and they want to do violence against the Haitians.
That's right.
Why would anybody want people to do violence against anyone? That's what I'm trying to understand. There are people that don't care that that others will come in and they will do bomb threats and they will threaten Haitian folks. You got someone in Congress the other day that was talk about the Haitians. I say that you don't have no business bringing all that up to do harm to a people.
Ms. Hinton, when you begin to talk about that, it's all these so-called pet lovers that's in those different areas that really, really then took it to the extreme and believing what is being said. They said the Haitian groups in Springfield filed a claim charges against Trump and Van after false pet claim. Mm-hmm. They said the leaders of the Haitian Bridge Alliance filed the criminal charges on false claim the former president. They said that the leaders, they said Tuesday against the former president Donald Trump, the Republican presidential nominee, and his running mate Vance over false claims that they made about Haitians immigrant eating local pets. Mm-hmm. They said they ran there eating local pets, so they got charges against them.
Wow. Okay. Miss Sheila Green said, yeah, she thinks they're eating pets. Oh, really? She said it was a few of them eating. And okay, keep up the conspiracy theory, girl. But in my book, whether that's a part of their cuisine or not, you don't have any business. People don't have any business inciting violence against the people.
That's right.
You know what that feels like.
That's right.
To keep carrying on and making up and doubling down on this stuff. She says she's seen it. Okay. Well, then, girl, you got to go to court with Trump and them, and you're going to have to tell them that you've seen it with your very own eyes. I still don't believe that people should, incite bomb threats. Is that cute? We've seen what can happen when people not just incite. When they do. I don't know how old some of you all are, but back in the day, Mr. E, there was a bomb, not a bomb threat, but they bombed a church.
That's right.
If you all think that's cute, then y'all go ahead and keep this thing going and keep talking so people can stay angry at Haitians and people that have been brought in legally. Just go on and keep all this stuff up.
One of the listeners says it's all on the internet. Do you believe everything you hear on the internet?
I don't know, but I tell you what, is it cute? This is my point. Is it cute that people are being threatened? Children are being threatened with bombs. Is that cute? I don't think so. I'm saying, we really need to watch how we do things and how we target people and what we say about others. So anyway, this is the story. The story is not that. The story is this, that group, Mr. E just told you all, are taking them in their hands to go ahead and do something about it. They're going to try to shut down this mess that's going on in Ohio with this cat story and dog story and all this other stuff.
People are mean. So hey, look, they're gonna take advantage. They're gonna try and do whatever they could possibly do to really bring out, just like they did with the Chinese. Chinese man, he walked down the street and folks jump on him, talking about they bought the virus in here.
That's what I'm saying. Stuff like that. People don't mind. They don't mind if people are harmed, hurt. It's all right. It's cute. And I'm trying to say, now wait a minute. Now do we want to see that?
Well, we don't want no man to be hurt. We don't want no man to be beat up or laid out on the ground for no reason.
Well, I tell you what's being beat up. Florida's being beat up because I tell you, Helene is out there popping. Well, Helene was is in the news. This terrible hurricane. And Mr. E, give us some tea on what's going on. What's the status of this hurricane?
When you look at Helene and all that she has done, when we look at her, we saying to myself, well, it's really, Helene update. It's really just crazy how she can go with 90-mile winds, hurricane in Florida, go and just a tropical storm, Helene, plowed through the southeast after making landfall. Mm-hmm. That she went over and terrorized and battered Georgia, battered Florida. Mm-hmm. She went down and terrorized all these different places and widespread impact. Catastrophic winds, damages from the storm, causing power outages that will likely last days, and if not weeks. Helene had also prompted schools and businesses closing, as well as flight cancellation. In that path of Helene, you can track Helene's path. You can go to CNN News and you can see more about what Helene is doing.
Well, sis, don't come here.
Stay away. Stay away.
Let's pray for the people there. I saw on the news reported the water that has come up in people's homes. I mean, just 6 feet of water in homes, and people have to evacuate. And, it's something to have to upset your life, when things upset your life and you've got to, go somewhere else. And it's just, I wouldn't even want to be in those situations.
I pity it down in Okoro, in these places like Corallo and all those places where these beach houses are, where we find them falling in the water at like Redanthia, where their houses are completely collapsing because of the sand is shifting. Now, you send a hurricane through there, guess what? It's going to tear you down.
We got to watch the weather here. You never know how it will affect us. Make sure you all are geared up and have the things you need just in case anything could happen like that. Have your supplies, have your flashlights, have all the things you need because this is the season for hurricanes and tornadoes and things like that, and we want to be prepared. But talking about, we just talked about Ohio and things like that and who was involved, the former Trump, the nominee for the Republican Party, and his vice president that's running with him. But the thing about it, maybe this is the reason for it. This is allegedly, y'all. It says the mental health experts sound the alarm on Trump's potential cognitive decline as he's lost touch with reality. Now, the story says leading mental health experts, including a former White House doctor, has expressed alarm over Donald Trump's mental faculty, suggesting that he's showing signs of cognitive decline. Let me stop right here and say you all did it to Biden. Y'all said he was crazy. We're going to do it to Trump too. How about that? So several experts told the Independent their concerns about the Republican presidential nominee are similar to those that had about President Joe Biden before he dropped out of the race, warning Trump appears to have lost touch with reality, as exhibited by the 78-year-old rambling speeches and erratic debate performance. Now,
sit down.
I've seen that. I mean, I don't know what's going on, but they took Biden and just swept him right on out the way. And now people are looking at your boy, Mr. E.
That's your boy. Sit down.
And so, they're trying to see, okay, what they're doing. They're just really going to watch him because there are some signs that something is going on.
That's just an escape for him not to say, okay, I'm not going to be president.
Well, I don't think it's an escape. We got to watch it because some things are not ticking and some things are being said that don't sound quite right. Conspiracy theories and poking fun and, being on the trail, saying stuff is one thing. But when you start scrambling up eggs, you can't understand a word that person stops and freezes and all. You got to watch that stuff.
Well, we got to watch other things that's about to happen right here at the port of Virginia.
Well, I didn't finish talking about Trump. I wanted to ask Miss Sheila Green what she think about it. Miss Green, you talk about cats and dogs and whatnot. What you think about Mr. Trump in this mental state they're trying to put him in? Is it fair? Is it fair?
Miss Sheila Green went into full detail.
Miss Green going on with the cats and the dog story.
She done went into full detail of the cats and the dogs. Something that she see on the internet.
We see you.
When you see this stuff with your own two eyes, then I believe you can talk about it.
You can talk about it.
Other than that,
she said she's seen it.
Look at this. Look at this. What she's saying. I'm not going to read it, but look at that.
She said, all right, Miss Green. Give us a video of that. But anyway, Mr. E, let's go ahead and roll to that story that you was getting ready to tell because it affects all of us. It affects Hampton Roads.
That's right.
The Port of Virginia.
Well, it's coming Monday, September the 30th. There's a strike going on at 6:00 p.m. Early this week, the state-run Port Authority revealed that it will halt operation by 6 o'clock p.m. September 30th if a strike occurs, meaning nothing in and nothing out. That's right.
Go get your supplies now.
You better go to the store and get your toilet paper, your water, the whole 9 yards.
But see, I've had experience. My husband, longshoreman, my son is a longshoreman. There are times when they can figure out what goes on before that time, and they'll settle everything. But then they will strike at times, so you'll all be prepared.
That's right.
In the meantime, look, thank you so much for joining us on Fun Friday. I hope you wasn't offended by what we said. Hey, we just reporting the news. So just come over here for a few minutes. We're going to tell you about some upcoming shows. God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. Don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10 right here on WGPL 1350, Peace 95.3 FM, WPCE 1400, and WMVA 88.9 and all social media platforms. Don't forget to have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.
Wow. It's so good to see you all. Thank you so much. Thank you for your comments and, how you feel about things. It's really funny. It's so much that's on social media and all that kind of stuff. You've got to make sure you are listening to the truth. You can't believe everything that everybody reports, even in the regular news, the regular media now. Sometimes they get it wrong. But what I feel with some of the stories that's out there and how people are being treated, we've got to watch. Everybody has a civil right, and you cannot sit back and try to harm people. We know as a people what it feels like to be targeted and things go out against us to cause us harm. We see what is happening with other races, other people. And so I don't think it's cute, whether it's Black people, Asians being targeted, Haitians being targeted. I don't care. When you got people that are blowing dog whistles and doing stuff to make a spectacle of other people, it is amazingly wrong.
Miss Hinton, folks forget what happened to them. How soon do they forget that they used to be called names and all that and been
lied on,
talked about, beat up, and whipped. They took everything they could do to keep back the hands.
Listen to this. They've been lying on Black men in the news for a long time. I mean, they have scandalized Black men in the news for years and years and years. And so, I mean, we know what it's like in our race to be targeted.
And we fail to realize, targeted. Folks fail to realize what it means to be targeted. Some folks don't understand that you've been through it. So why would you turn around and target somebody else and send somebody else through the same harassment and abuse that you've been through?
Well, they're double downing on this incident. Trump and Vance, they don't, it's like, hey, I'm going to keep putting it out there. And the more they put it out there, you got more people that are sitting back. Okay, now let's go after all the Haitians now. Let's go after all of them now because they ain't no good and they eat cats and dogs and they do this and they do that. And let's go ahead and threaten to bomb up their school. Let's go threaten their children. Really? So I'm just saying, that this group, what's the name of the group, Miss E, have said, now listen, y'all may think that's cute, but that's not cute. We have seen what can happen in this country.
We've seen it.
We have seen what can happen in this country when people do things against a people.
That's right.
Now,
folks have the tendency, if they want to file lawsuits against folk and beat up people, well, let's look at it. When you start a throwing stone, don't forget the same rock you threw, it got a boomerang effect. It'll come back and hit you too.
That's right. So look, we got some upcoming shows. Look, we talked a little bit about the Cowboys and the Giants. The Cowboys came through But we got some other games that's going to be coming up this weekend. I hope you all look at it because on Monday we're coming back with sports talk.
That's right. We're coming back here with sports talk.
Week 4.
That's right. Week 4. Don't forget, coming week 4 after this Sunday game starts week 4 with the Panthers will be playing against the Bengals, and the Saints will be playing against the Falcons, and the Vikings will play against Green Bay Packers.
All right. It's going to be some good games. And hey, it's been good. I tell you what, it was been good. Last night, the game, I think, was kind of like nice and mild. And, but like we said, the Cowboys wanted to win and they did their thing. We're going to tell you the lineup on Monday, who's going to be playing, who played on the weekend, and who won and who lost. Also, we're going to have FYI After Dark. We're going to be announcing some shows that are going to be coming up live. We've been doing the replays, and so you all will get a chance to see us live and in living color soon. Also, we're going to be talking about immigration. We're going to talk about the vote. Have you all registered to vote? Virginia is going to be able to vote earlier.
They already
started. Yeah. My precinct, they have a certain date when I can go in there. Last week you couldn't go there. Yeah. So go and find out where your precinct is, where you should be voting, and go ahead and vote early if you would like. Or you can wait for November and cast your vote. But whatever you do, vote.
That's right. Get out there and vote. Ms. Hinton, I want to talk about some things about the businesses in Portsmouth shutting down.
Go ahead. Yes.
On yesterday, there was 14 businesses that was busted on this week. 14 units was operating in the city of Portsmouth for illegal gambling. They listed 11 summons and made 1 probation violation. So they started from Kings on 2910 Victory Boulevard for gambling down till you got to Cherry's Vape, 812 Airline Boulevard, and Crazy Out Overstock, 1935 Victory Boulevard, and a host of other listings that are there.
Wow, I tell you what, Portsmouth stay in the news.
That's right.
As a matter of fact, in Portsmouth, they're getting ready to do a honor to Senator Lucas. They're going to name a street after her in the city of Portsmouth, Virginia.
I think Cherry is one of her businesses.
Oh, okay. What?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll continue with that story. Pregnant. Did you ever say pregnant? Your aunts and uncles and all of them used to say pregnant.
That was old school.
That's old school. We'll tell you about that pregnant. So, I some of those things that they used to say just kind of funny, but anyway. We're going to continue with our shows. Like we said, immigration. Mr. E, you had another story in here. What is it? Oh, Mr. E is trying to give y'all some money.
That's right.
Mr. E, tell us about that real quick.
There's a story going out here that if that's on TV showing nationwide all over the world about how to find money from the government. That unclaimed money. What is unclaimed money? Is business, financial institutes, government owe you money that you did not collect. It's considered unclaimed money or property. Search by the state, search other databases to determine whether or not they owe you any money, or you got some unclaimed money. So you ought to get out there, check with your employees, unemployed. It could be employees, a job that you used to do, life insurance policy, taxes,
they have child support up there.
Bank failure, savings, bonds. It could be a host of everything that bankruptcies and Indian money, all down to Indian money that you could have, should have, or if you had it out there, couldn't claim it.
Absolutely. Listen, don't forget about the debate that's coming up with the nominees for Vice President, Vance, and also Walz. That's coming up in October, Mr. E. And wow, I think that's going to be fire. I think that's going to be something else. I think we're going to have a real good show.
I just hope it's been done better than they did with the former President Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris.
Well, they could have another one, and we could see more. But
he said he don't.
Somebody won't come out and
that's right.
He's accept the challenge.
He's got mental illness.
We'll figure that out. But I want you all to really sit back and look at some of the things that they're saying as far as the decline of some of Trump's, mental faculties. I've seen a few things, but hey, you judge for yourself, and then time would tell. Time would tell, just like they did Biden. All right, that's right. They did Biden the same way. They said, "Now listen, you can't sit up here." Look, the Democrats said, "You're not gonna sit up here and blah, 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 blah. You got to go." Same thing with Trump. I think they should get rid of him too if he's sitting up there and he's going into Alzheimer's.
That is so true.
Because how you gonna run a country with Alzheimer's or whatever decline it is?
Well, they did it to Biden, so it's now time for him to take a walk.
All right.
Off a long pier.
Absolutely.
A slow walk off a long pier.
Absolutely. So we're going to have a real estate and first-time buyer show. Also, Crystal Community Development Corporation is recruiting girls 10 to 17. Open house is the end of October. We'll tell you more about it and some of our other shows and information on social media. Don't forget Yolanda Hinton's music, Make It All Right. And don't forget to follow us on social media. You can also be a special guest, internal sponsor on FYI. Mr. E has the tea.
Well, you can be an intern specialist or sponsor on the most talked about radio station. All you have to do is give us a call at 757-714-7861, or you can go and email us at FYI Radio Station live at FYI Radio Show live at gmail.com.
Absolutely. So we're going to see you all on Monday for Sports Talk. Have a wonderful weekend. Be blessed. Thank you so much for joining us over here on Instagram. Eunice, how are you? Eunice Durham, Lord_Byron 465, and Superfit Villain. Thank you for joining us. All you all that are on that I don't see, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for your support. Make sure you have a wonderful weekend. Look, the Neptune festival is down at the oceanfront of Virginia Beach. Go and check them out. But make sure you have a great day. Bye now.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. Don't forget, for more information, you can call us at 757-714-7861, or you can email us at FYIRadiosHowLive@gmail.com. And if you'd like to be a special guest sponsor, just give us an email or inbox at Edward Everett Facebook page, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page, or FYI Facebook page, and say, hey, look, I'd like to be a sponsor of your show.
Bye. Have a wonderful